Hello YouTube, just a boy with another Gozyuger review, and today take a look at the deluxe GoodeBurn from No.1 Sentai Gozyuger. This is a morpher slash mecha that now allows Goju Polar to transform. So in this box you got the Goju Polar Sentai ring, the adult size ring band, and GoodeBurn himself. Well, itself I should say. So let's take a look at the ring first. So let's take a close look at the Sentai ring that comes with. So here is the Goju Polar Sentai ring. As you can see, of course, he's the sixth member of Gozyuger. Of course, he's named after a polar bear. So, got some nice ice blue clear plastic. Got nice gold paint. Got silver paint too as well. And of course, here is the back of it. Of course, there's a pin there, which we'll try this out when we plug it into the Tega sword. So, we'll try that out. So now, of course, you can see there's a little crease in there because that's when you open it up. It reveals the robot mode face. So, got nice orange eyes there. So, yep, so close that. And of course, you can switch this out with the adult size ring band. So you can put it on your finger. So, there you go. Now I'm going to bring in the Tega sword to try this out. And just a quick little view of what happens if you put the Goju Polar ring inside the Tega sword. This is what happens. It abruptly cuts there. So no matter if you do this, nothing happens. So really, no special music or anything. Just that's it. It just cuts short. That's it. So that's that. Now let's bring in the GoodeBurn. So here is the deluxe GoodeBurn itself. You can see it takes the form of a fist. You can see from the knuckles here, which of course there's one, and that's where you put in the ring in here, which, yeah, as you can see, there is no reader on the GoodeBurn. So, yeah. It just pushes like one button in there. So, yeah. Of course, we've got the speaker there, and this bit here is a button. So, you can see it's done in nice polar white with some nice ice blue clear plastic. We've got some gold paint for the tubing, which from the looks of it. And of course, we've got some red here, which that'll come to play once we get to the combination between this and the Tega sword. So, yeah, as you can kind of see from the top up, it does look like a robot. So, yes, you can clearly see, even though it doesn't really hide that well, even the Tega sword does hide the robot mode pretty well because it becomes just a hand, really. That's it. So, yeah. Of course, here's the handle here. So, which, it's a little bit more comfortable than Tega sword. It's because it's smoother. It just feels smoother. I mean, just in my opinion. Of course, it doesn't fit my hand, but hey, that's nice. So now, unlike the Tega sword, this does not have an on-off switch. So the only thing you turn this off is this pull tab right here. So yeah. Now this button here, that's for separating these two components. Because yeah, the thing does split into two. That's when we get to the robot mode. Now this button here, this is for transformation. But what it does when you push it in, it lets you flip up the handle. So again, that's for transformation. So there. Okay, of course we get this, there's a little piece there, which we'll get to that later. All right. So yeah, that's it for that. Let's get into the sounds. All right, so let's get to the sounds here. So all you do is you pull the tab out, and you can get this noise. So this is Boku wa GoodeBurn. So it says, I am GoodeBurn. So there you go. So now, also, unlike the Tega sword, which I did point out, this doesn't have an on switch. This one does not have a motion sensor. So you don't have to worry about, this thing going off on you. So, yeah. Now this button here, this makes GoodeBurn say some phrases. So. Of course, got a nice green colored LED. Of course, he said, I am #1. So. And then it cycles back to saying that. So. Now let's get into the transform. Now we get into that. Let's get into the transformation into Goju Polar. So you just put this in, and then you press the button here, and the transformation will begin. So here we go. Engage. And just like that, we complete the transformation into Goju Polar. Now, from here, we can actually press the button again. Okay. Now, if you... Alright, that's when you tap the button. When you hold this in... So you get the finished knuckle. So, there you go. That's that. Now, like I said, this thing does not have a reader, so no matter what ring you put in, you're going to get the same exact noise. Same exact sound. So if I put in just the Tega Sword red ring, you just get the transformation theme. So yeah, no point for that. No point to doing that. So there we go. Now let's get into the GoodeBurn's robot mode. So much like the same way I did with the Tega Sword review, I'm going to show off the transformation in two ways. One without sound and one with sound. So we're going to do it without sound first. So you can see there's a pull, I put the pull tab in there. So to start the transformation, you're going to push this button in and this will let you separate the two components in it. Now as soon as you separate those two, it'll say, the store will say awaking, and then the transformation music will play. So what you do is you push this in. This allows you to separate the two halves like that. And come in here and press this button here, which I did show off earlier. This will allow you to flip up the handle. Again, this button lets you flip up the handle. And then take this bit here and flip this up like that. And then you're going to take the... Actually, okay, make sure this is... Well, leave that in there. Just attach the head in. You're going to flip up... Well, what's the thumb? The thumb. Flip up like that. You're going to fold this down. Fold these down here. And this is going to line up with this bit right here. So just like this. So there you go. And then you come up here and flip open the face. So that is it for GoodeBurn's transformation to robot mode. Now now I'm gonna try it out with sound. All right, now let's do the transformation with sound. Oh, sorry about that. All right, sorry about that. But so like I said before, as soon as you press this button and you separate the transformation music will play. So here we go. And there you go. And that is it for GoodeBurn. Alright, so let's get into the robot mode design. See, it's pretty neat, pretty cool. I mean, no pun intended there. Because we're dealing with a polar bear themed mech and ranger. So yeah. So basically his specialty is he's a boxer. So you can tell from his big fists. And of course, obviously from the changer, that's based off a fist. That's designed after a fist. Well, a clenched fist, I should say. So there you go. Of course, you can see there's the... Oh, did I... Yeah, okay, just make sure I did flip this bit up. So, yeah. So, yeah. Now, articulation. Really, it's just the arms that go all the way around. So, that's pretty much it. Now, it does hit the handle bit here. So yeah. Now, it does look awkward when you flip it up like this because of the way how it's designed. Though it would be nice if it was like lower like this, but no, it's like up here. So, but it's something you can really do. That's it. Now for the sounds, you can see there's a button right here. So when you press this, so you get this sound there. But when you hold it in, what? Huh. So you got the Finish Protected Polar Good to Finish. So there you go. That's that. So yeah. That's pretty much I guess that's pretty much what GoodeBurn can do on its own. So there you go. Now we're getting into the reason why I decided to get this thing is despite the fact this thing doesn't have a reader. That's regular bring in Tega sword. Now, the main reason why I decided to get GoodeBurn, despite the fact it doesn't have a reader, is that these two can combine. It's just solely for the combination between the two. So, just like how I did with the GoodeBurn and the Tega sword, I'm going to show off the transmission in two ways: without sound and with sound. So bear with me on this. No pun intended. Since I said bear with me, no pun intended. Okay. So we're gonna start with GoodeBurn. So, and of course I did put the pull tab in the back so it shuts up. So yeah. So for starters, I'm gonna go ahead, and a lot of people did miss this step. So there are these panels here on the bottom, which you flip these up and it reveals some red paint on there. So we'll get that out of the way. Then we're going to go ahead and remove the ring here, remove the chest plate, and then remove the arms, remove this component here with the batteries in it, and flip this bit down and remove this piece here, which will become part of the head, the combination. Then take the arms here, you remove, this was the, I think this was the left arm. Remove this bit here, flip upside down, and flip onto the side here. You can see you got some gold and some red detail, which I mentioned before earlier in the review. So do the same thing on this side, so flip this up, like this. And this time I'm going to flip up the fist here, which reveals a new hand. So, like that. And do the same on the other side, so flip it up, and there you go. Those are the new arms, and those are the fist, everything here. So, let's bring in the Tega sword. Now, for Tega sword, not much prep work, so flip up the blade in, we're going to remove the arms, I'm going to come to the back here, and we're going to storm onto the back, like this, so there we go, just like that. And go in and fold this down, remove this, remove these ring here, and remove this, split these in half. So now there's a reason why this does split, so there you go. I'm going to go ahead and take this, what was the chest of Gozyuger, flip upside down, and this will go onto the back of the legs. So just like that. So there you go. That is that. All right, so now we're coming to here. And take the Tega sword torso and plug it onto here. Then take the chest component, this, what was the chest of Gozyuger, or the torso bit. Now, as soon as you plug this in, while the normal transformation thing for GoodeBurn's playing, this will actually press this button in, and it'll play a different transformation jingle, so a standby jingle. So plug that in, and take the new arms here. And this will go over to the side like this, and this will cover up the white pegs here, so just like that. Then take what were the legs of Tega sword, and this is going to plug on top of this combination here. So actually, well, before we do that, plug the Gozyuger ring into this, and then from here, I'm going to flip this up, flip a new face panel here, and then you're going to take the crown piece and plug it on top, and then you're going to take the cannon piece and then plug it on top. So just like that, and then, and last but not least, you take the ring here and plug into the chest. And that is Tega sword white burn without the sounds. So now I'm going to try it again with sounds. All right, now I'm going to do this again with sounds, but this time all the components are preset. So let's pull this up and let's start. All right. And there you go. That's the transformation into Tega sword white burn. So here you have Tega sword white burn. And this is the main reason I got the GoodeBurn toy. I do like this combination. I love it. It's big. It's ridiculous. I like how the Tega sword's legs become a pair of cannons. Again, that's pretty cool. Of course, he does shoot, and of course, I believe in the show, he does shoot missiles from these bits right here, so, yeah, pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah. So looking at the head design, actually let's remove the cannon here. So you can see the top of the head resembles the Gozyuger logo, or the symbol, or emblem rather. And one thing I do like about this is the size of the face resemble a pair of fists, of clenched fists, which I do like that. Pretty cool. And if you wonder what's behind there, it's the Goju polar ring, which yes, you're supposed to put that back there. So yeah. So that's part of the transformation. So there you go. Yeah, again, I do love how the gold paint just pops. I mean, there you go. And of course, he's got a new pair of hands, which I'll remove this just to get a close look. So basically, it's just open hands if you look at it. So, but you can make him hold something in the hand too. So that could be for just a future combination. So yeah, pretty cool. Now, speaking of arms, now you can say there's little to no articulation for this combination because it's a brick. But you can do this, but that's all you can do. But the only way you can pose this guy is by removing the arms and then putting it at an angle just like this. And that's all you can do. Really, that's it. So, yeah, that's pretty much all you can do, how you can pose this guy. Just reattaching the arms. So, yeah. So, yeah. Now, this guy does have sounds, so press this button again, just like with the GoodeBurn. So... So if you hold the button down for a few seconds, you'll get the white burn full burst, which is his finisher attack. So yeah, there you go. Now, to more than guess, even though I do not own the Tega June, but yes, since the Tega June has a similar build to the Tega Sword, you can combine the Tega June with GoodeBurn so you can create Tega June white burn. So yes, I've seen videos of that. So that's something you can do if you own Tega June. So yeah, which again I don't have at the moment. So yeah. So, overall, the Deluxe GoodeBurn is recommended if you're a fan of Goju Polar and if you're a fan of the combination that I shown off earlier. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, I'm aware that this guy does combine with the Bear Kuma 50, which is Goju Polar's personal weapon. However, I'm not going to get that thing, so, it does combine with this guy, but I only have to get the Bear Kuma 50, so... it's adorable, like a little polar bear tank thing, so... Yeah, so I'm actually going to pass that one, so... Yeah. So if you look past the fact that this thing does not have a reader, which is the only unfortunate bit about this, so again, like I said before, the reason why I got this thing is because of the combination between this and the Tega Sword, which I liked. So yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's like I fit in my hand comfortably, but hey, you know what? It's not too bad. It doesn't feel too bad. So yeah. So yeah, that's all I really got to say about the GoodeBurn. So next review after this, I'm going to take a look at the third wave of Gashapon Sentai rings. So thank you for watching. Like what you saw, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell next to it, and follow my Twitter/X and like my Facebook page. Links are in the description. So I'll catch you next time.